Hey there, let's talk about something real. There's a powerful shift that happens when a woman realizes she's lost you. I'm not talking about a temporary break or a short-term silence. I mean when she truly feels that you're no longer in her life, and that you've stopped waiting for her to return. You've probably heard the saying, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. In relationships, that truth stings, because it's not just about missing someone. It's about suddenly recognizing their value when it's too late. I remember a friend going through this. At first, his ex acted like nothing happened, like she was totally fine. But then, months later, she started texting him out of nowhere. Saw this and thought of you, or hope you're doing well. It confused him. Why reach out now? The answer lies in how we respond to loss. When you're no longer available, when you go silent and focus on your own growth, it creates emotional gravity. It forces reflection, not just on what she had, but on what she lost. And when that hits her, it can lead to a range of behaviors, some subtle, some bold. So in this video, I'm breaking down the stages she goes through when she realizes you're gone, what her actions really mean, and how you should respond, especially if you're on your own journey of growth and healing. Let's start with the first sign. 1. The breadcrumb trail. Subtle attempts to reconnect. One of the first signs she's feeling your absence? She tries to reconnect, but she'll never make it obvious at first. You might notice her following you again on social media, liking an old post, or sending you a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" These seem small, but they're intentional. This kind of behavior is what I call breadcrumbing. It's her way of checking if the door is still open, without fully knocking on it. It's low risk. If you respond positively, she knows she still has some influence. If you don't, she can pretend it was nothing. A coworker of mine once admitted that after breaking up with her boyfriend, she missed him, but didn't want to come across as needy. So instead, she just liked one of his photos from months ago, hoping he'd reach out. It's a quiet signal. I'm still thinking about you. If you notice these kinds of breadcrumbs, don't rush to respond emotionally. Step back and observe. Is she being authentic, or is she just chasing a memory? Often, these efforts are more about soothing her own curiosity or guilt than actually rebuilding something real. The best thing you can do is remain calm and centered. If your focus is on your own progress, these breadcrumbs won't distract you. They'll simply be reminders of how far you've come and how much stronger you've grown in her absence. 2. Testing the waters without taking the risk. When she does finally reach out in a more direct way, it won't be with something heavy like, "I miss you" or "Can we talk?" Instead, it'll be safe and casual, something like, "How's work?" or "Just saw this movie you used to like." It's small talk with a purpose. This isn't random. It's self-protection. Being vulnerable, especially after a breakup, feels risky. No one wants to put their heart on the line and get rejected. So instead, she tests the waters, hoping you'll carry the conversation forward. If you do, it gives her confidence. If you don't, she has an easy excuse to retreat. There's a principle from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People that explains this perfectly. People avoid emotional risk. They want connection, but only if they feel safe doing it. That's exactly what's happening here. Your job is to know what you want. If you're open to talking again, keep things honest and light. But if you've moved on, don't be cruel. Just be clear. You don't owe her a deep explanation, but you do owe yourself honesty. Let her know where you stand without feeding mixed signals. These moments might feel tempting, especially if you still care. But clarity matters more than comfort, and sometimes the most respectful thing you can do, for both of you, is to keep moving forward. 3. Why your absence triggers fear. Here's where it gets real. Your silence starts to speak louder than words. When you completely remove yourself from her life, no texts, no social media reactions, no accidental run-ins, your absence begins to create fear. Not because she doesn't like being alone, but because she starts to realize you're actually gone. At first, she may have thought you'd come back eventually. Maybe she assumed you'd reach out or keep checking in. But when she sees you've stayed silent, focused, and unbothered, that's when the panic begins. That's when she starts asking herself questions like, did I make a mistake? Did I take him for granted? This isn't just emotional, it's psychological. Psychologists call it loss aversion. It means we feel the pain of losing something more intensely than we enjoy gaining something new. When she realizes she lost someone who truly cared, especially if you've started leveling up in your life, that loss hits deep. The best part? You don't need to do anything dramatic. Just keep focusing on your growth. Work on yourself, your goals, your peace of mind. When you stop chasing and start thriving, your energy shifts. And that shift becomes magnetic, even to the one who once walked away. But here's the key. Don't grow just to get her back. Grow because you deserve a life that doesn't depend on anyone else's validation. That's what real strength looks like. 4. When reconnecting is actually worth it. Let's be honest, not every breakup means the relationship was doomed. Sometimes things fall apart because of timing, stress, or miscommunication, not because the connection itself was broken. There are cases where a second chance is worth exploring. Maybe you both needed time to mature. Maybe outside circumstances pulled you apart. If the foundation was solid and the love was real, reconnection can lead to something even stronger than before. I know a couple who broke up during a really stressful season of life. They both had demanding jobs and barely any time for each other. Eventually, it took a toll. But months later, they bumped into each other at a friend's party. They talked, really talked, and realized the breakup wasn't about incompatibility. It was about pressure. Now, they're happily married with kids. But be cautious. If your breakup was caused by serious issues like dishonesty, emotional manipulation, or incompatible values, those don't usually change overnight. Getting back together without resolving the root problems will just repeat the cycle. Before reconnecting, ask yourself, was this relationship healthy? Were we both growing together? If the answer is no, then walking away might still be the best choice, no matter how strong the chemistry. Reconnecting should be about building something new on better ground, not going back to fix what was already broken. And that choice always starts with self-respect. 5. Understanding what she's really feeling. Now let's flip the perspective. What is she actually feeling when she starts reaching out again? It's usually a mix of regret, nostalgia, and guilt. She may regret not appreciating you when she had the chance. She may feel nostalgic for the good times, those laughs, the inside jokes, the connection. And deep down, she might feel guilty for her role in the breakup, especially if she knows she hurt you or pushed you away. But here's the thing. Just because someone feels regret doesn't mean they're ready to build something better. Regret isn't always a sign of love. Sometimes, it's just a reaction to loneliness or fear of being replaced. Author Mark Manson says it best in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. People often reach out not for reconciliation, but for closure. They want to feel better about how things ended. They want to be forgiven so they can move on cleanly. That's not about you, it's about them. So when she comes back with soft words and sentimental messages, pause. Ask yourself, is this about real change, or is it about easing her discomfort? Understanding her feelings is important, but it doesn't mean you have to act on them. Let her process what she's going through, but don't lose sight of your progress. Her emotions are her responsibility. Your growth, that's yours to protect. 6. You hold the power. Now picture this. Your phone lights up. It's a message from her. Simple. Maybe it says, "I've been thinking about you." In that moment, everything stops. Old memories rush in. Feelings resurface. But here's the truth. You have the power now. You're no longer waiting. You're no longer chasing. You've grown, evolved, and probably found more peace than you thought possible. Now the decision is yours. Do you go back, or do you move forward? This isn't about her feelings anymore. It's about your future. Going back might feel familiar, but is it wise? Is that version of you still who you want to be? Or have you outgrown that story? Think of your life like a bridge. Crossing it means leaving something behind, but it also means stepping into something greater. Your values, your goals, your worth, these should be the guide. If she couldn't appreciate you before, what's changed now? The hardest part of growth is realizing that not everyone who was part of your past deserves a place in your future. And that's okay. Some people were chapters, others, they were lessons. So if she reaches out, don't rush to reply. Reflect. You've worked hard for your peace. Protect it. And remember, real strength isn't in getting her back. It's in knowing you don't need to. At the end of the day, losing someone or being lost by someone is part of life. But what you choose to do with that experience, that's what shapes you. Whether she's realizing what she lost or you're just now seeing your own worth clearly, remember this: growth is never a waste. Every challenge, every silent moment, every unanswered text, it all leads to clarity. And that clarity gives you the power to decide who deserves a place in your life. You don't need to hate her. You don't need to prove anything. Your silence, your progress, your peace, that says more than any argument ever could. So if this message hit home for you, take a moment to reflect. Are you holding the pen to your story? Or are you still flipping through old pages hoping they'll read differently? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had someone realize your worth after you were gone? Or maybe you've had to walk away from someone who didn't see your value until it was too late. I'd love to hear your story. And if this video helped you see things more clearly, do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who might need to hear it today. You're not alone on this journey, and the best is yet to come. Until next time, keep growing, keep standing tall, and never forget, the right person will never have to lose you to realize your worth.